Okay, so we get the data, then you send the text, and we talk to 100 people. We get 8 submissions. Then it goes into launch control. And I'm sorry, it goes into Salesforce. After it goes into Salesforce, is there anything else that you do with this leads? Like those 8, 7, 9 submissions, is there anything else you do with that?
Not me. What I do is I like to have everything organized and everything like in its place. I just click on this little tag right here, and there's a tag that says submitted, and I just put submitted and then put it in my HOTS, because that way I know like, huh?
Do you ever text the HOTS?
Like the ones I already submitted?
Yeah.
Yes, I like at the end of the month, I try to like follow up on them to see, because maybe some of these submissions haven't been called yet.
Yes, that's okay.
For whatever reason. So I try and like follow up with them, see if they got a call, or see if they did get a call but they weren't interested, so I can just go ahead and clean it up like from my program.
Okay, you remember there was a point in time that I think you were helping Lewis, and you were sending, let's say you had 8 submissions, you'd send one to one person, one to another, one to another. Do you remember that?
No. What do you mean? Like to the acquisition managers, or?
Yeah. Did you ever do that, or that was only Lewis that was doing it?
No, I think that was Lewis that was doing it. What I would do is post it, and I would just tag Marco, because back then Marco was like the only one that was allowed to get hot leads.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, because Lewis was saying that the best way to do it is, let's say we get 8 submissions, is we give 1 submission per person, right? Like in order.
Well, I've kind of like asked him in all kinds of ways if I can do anything else to help out the company, but he never like, I don't know. Yeah, he wants me like here, so.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I gotta think through what's the best way, because first we have to see where these leads are in Salesforce. Then we got to see, are they being contacted? Like, what's that process? So we're basically missing from Cindy submitted to, you know.
I don't know if you saw the lead I posted yesterday.
Under contract. Under contract. We're missing like this part.
Contacted.
Yeah, we're missing. As
soon as they contact them, we know those leads are in there.
Yeah, we're missing contacted. We're missing like how many of those turned into opportunities. They're missing how many of those opportunities got a 2 call. They're missing how many of those 2 calls went under contract. So this portion here is what we have to solve for. Because we just don't know. And you don't have any access to Salesforce or anything to see what's happening in Salesforce with that lead, right?
I do have access. I just don't have when I log into it, it sends Marco a message, and sometimes Marco doesn't respond back. He's busy, so okay. I can't log in.
This is the lead you're talking about that you sent yesterday?
Yeah. So like these type of leads, I don't really get them. I think this is a really hot lead. I couldn't find the price to the second address, but I mean, I'm like, I don't know if they call them or not, and it's not that I want to get a bonus, but like if I don't get like any deals, I don't think I'm doing anything for the company.
Right.
And I'm still getting paid. I'm still working, you know. So that's why I'm just like, at this point, I'm kind of desperate. I don't know what else to do.
You want to get, you want to get a little bit more involved to make sure your work is actually being utilized and we're getting deals from the things you're doing.
Yeah, sometimes I do message like some of the, like, hey, like this lead, or what's going on with that lead, or, but I don't do it all the time. So I would.
Submission.
Intruder into
okay. So right now you have a chat that's called Text Lead Sales.
Mm-hmm.
You tag everybody. That kind of goes here in the middle here. I'm gonna put like Slack chat. Okay. So then you have a Slack chat, and then it gets submitted to Salesforce.
Where do you want these leads to go into a general pool, or something where you and Lewis or somebody can look through first?
I don't know. That's what I have to kind of run through those scenarios. But so Cindy, what do you think? where do you think the holes are, the gaps are for texting right now?
From texting, I think it's the data. Um, I know you don't get to see what data you have in there. But I think it's mostly that. I did have really good data. Let me show you my campaigns. Hold on. Okay, so these two campaigns were all right. Gwinnett, Douglasville. Okay, I'm gonna show you these. These are the leads I've submitted from each campaign. 51, 58, 70. They're not all hot. I just put them in hot because those are the ones that are submitted. But from like 78, I'm pretty sure at least 5 could have made it. Like from my numbers, from what I think.
So wait, scroll up really fast.
Mhm.
So Douglasville, you sent 13,285 and got 78 hot leads.
Well, they weren't hot. That's how I have to put them in my hot so they can be like organized. That launch control doesn't let you organize like batch and like sonar.
But you got 70. So those are 78 submissions.
78 submissions, yes.
And what about the 36 in drip? Are those submissions too?
Drip is like when I put a lead that hasn't responded, but I don't want to get rid of it. So I put it in a drip so it like in a month I can get another message. Because I don't know if I'm gonna get data like tomorrow or like like I'm so I can have those extra. Like the drip sends the message automatically. Like, hey Raul, I haven't heard back from you. Are you still considering selling? Or like a follow-up message.
Right.
So these are like 67 drips that I put from here to a month from now, or from here to like 2 weeks from now. So they can get a message. If they don't respond, I clean it out. Right. But I usually like try following up 5 to 6 times when I see it's like it can be a good potential lead.
Right. Maybe they did one answer and then they haven't answered back. So you didn't submit it because they didn't answer your time, condition, price, or motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is fine. That's good. Okay, so data is the number one thing you said. All right, let's say that we, get some fresh data that's really good. What else? What are some other things that are some gaps right now, or some challenges?
I'm saying like maybe there's I've tried everything, but maybe I haven't tried everything. Maybe change my ways of being sending my messages, maybe a little direct, like depending on the person, how they be a little more direct, or like not lose patience so fast, because when I don't get anything, I'm just like, oh my god, I need to get a lead. So
yeah, no, I mean, from looking at this, it doesn't seem like it's anything you're doing necessarily.
Yeah, Luis has said that, but I mean, when you still want to do your work correct, and like go over the top with it, you're still going to be like.
No, I think the big gap is really on our end here when it comes to in the office. Like once your job is done and it goes into Salesforce and the Slack channel, basically us here, we have no idea what's happening.
So I was gonna mention that I think another gap would be like, are the leads getting called like they need to be? I know that like the PPC leads are like way harder and way easier, but like this used to be the thing back then, so maybe they can try like they used to try back then. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we have more salespeople now, so what I'm thinking is that when we were doing really good on text and doing like, I don't know, 4 or 5 deals a month. How many deals a month were we doing on text in the good days?
I was getting 4 or 5.
4 or 5 a month.
Sometimes when I had the team, it was a lot more.
Yeah. I remember when we were doing that, what we were doing was when you guys would submit a lead, it would go to Lewis, and Lewis would then distribute it per person. So it was Marco get 2, then Louis would get 1 or whatever. And
so I'm sorry, I did have a meeting with Luis like about a month ago, and he told me he was gonna start doing that again, like checking each lead. Yeah. I don't know if he did go through with it, but he said he was going to be checking each lead so they can go like to the people that we're supposed to go to. If there's anything I can help with, I'm like all for it as well.
I was going to say, how do you feel about doing that? Like before, what we were doing differently, that we want to make it easier if we do this. So before, the reason it would go to Lewis is that Lewis would read the conversation, look at the house, make sure, and then determine which one's hotter than the other. And he'd get the really hot ones and give them to Marco, and he'd get like the medium ones and give them to Louis, and get the other ones and give them to, you know, another person. But I think what we want to do this time is just like, let's say you get 8 submissions. We don't care if it's hot, warm, or cold. Like, we just want to distribute like, okay, 2 go to John, 2 go to Sally, 2 go to this. And we just, that's my first thought, but I want to dive a little deeper into this. But when we were doing really good and doing 5, 6, 7 deals a month on text, we were doing that model, just like a person would own the lead that you got. So then there was a lot more accountable. And I would say for now, like, don't be shy to write on the chat and be like, hey, has anyone contacted this one? It's really hot. Like, don't be scared to do that, you know, in the chat when you, like this one in Georgia that you showed us. Don't be scared to, like, you know, now when we get off the call, write on the chat, like, hey guys, this one's really hot. Please call them, whatever. You know, I would say for now, do that. The data, are the leads getting called? So you think that if we get new data or we get good data sent to you, maybe what, like monthly, every 2 months, every 3 months, something like that?
Well, yeah, I'm saying like I'm letting you know, like if I have anything good to work with, I'm not gonna let no deal go by, no lead go by. I just need like the stuff to work with, you know, like.
Gotcha. And then if we start calling these leads that you get and making more offers, we should be able to make more deals happen.
Yeah.
And what about,
ask, like, can I, like, is there at any point, I don't know if I have to talk to you about that or Luis, but like that I can start calling the leads I turn in, like, I don't know, trying to like do something else like with the company to help it, you know, like no more.
Good question. The answer is maybe. I don't know. I really want to figure out what would be the best for the company. Maybe like a.
And I also understand, like, if texting is not going to be a thing anymore, then well. But that's why I want to learn other things. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a thing. I just think that it's not going to be a thing how we used to do it, like, you know, 30, 40,000 text messages a day.
I mean, if I could get at least 1 deal a month, I was hoping for 2, but 1 is still good. Like, that gets enough money to pay for like the programs, like, to, you know, like, I won't feel so bad and I won't be thinking, oh my God, like tomorrow I'm going to get fired. So.
No, my goal is to get texting to do at least 2 deals a month.
Okay.
2 deals. That's like what I want to aim for. Because each deal has shown that it's pretty profitable. So although we do have to invest a lot, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month in things, you know, we're okay doing that as long as we can make deals happen and get our money back and make money, obviously.
Okay.
So I'm going to think through this here, and then we could set up another meeting for next week, and then we'll go over a different kind of like what the next steps are. And I'd encourage you also to think of ideas and, you know, based on what you know. Since I wasn't like so in it back then either, like, you don't have to tell me now, obviously, but like you could think of what you remember worked really well when we're doing 5, 6, 7 deals a month.
More messages. That's one, like, more messages.
And if we were to do more messages now, how would you do it?
The same way. I've worked 4 launches, 4 batches at a time. I've worked 30, 50,000 messages. I can do it. If you guys would need somebody else, I can also train. I do all of that. I can do all of that. Yeah. Make sure they like have the same goals I have and make sure they're on top of it.
Okay. So more messages. Okay. Okay, strengths and roles. All right, that sounds good. So no, I'm gonna look at all of this. I'm gonna run through like what are some scenarios about what we could do with your leads, but it doesn't seem like you're really doing anything wrong, actually, you know. I think it's just the beginning part, which is the data, and the last part, which is the calling and making offers. But all the stuff that you're doing seems right. I mean, you're sending the messages, you're getting people, you're submitting you're submitting leads, you're putting it into the CRM. So it seems like we just have to work on something on our side here.
Can I ask you a question? Why how do I ask? Why am I having this meeting with you instead of Luis?
Well, Luis lately his roles and responsibilities have changed in the company. He's doing a lot more things with the sales team, with sales management, managing like newer people that are in the office. So it's requiring a lot of his time to do that. And yeah, I'm just basically stepping in to see how we can optimize this.
All right.
But all right, Cindy, thank you very much. I appreciate all the feedback you gave, and I'll keep you posted. So I'll message you on Slack, so we can meet next week.
Okay. So you would want me like bring more ideas, see anything I can think of to help this out, help the messaging department out.
Yeah, exactly. You can bring some ideas, and like if you were to run this department from this office or from wherever, like what would you do, from the whole thing, and just I'm open to listening and seeing how we can make it work.
Okay, that sounds good, Raul. Thank you for having this meeting with me.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.